their item level of the mob scales to your level.
Right.
Or to your item level.
To your item level.
And there were people that were testing this by taking off a piece of gear and watching the health of the mob drop down a little bit while they were engaging it.
See, now what I would do is I'd just take off gear like a madman until it just died.
Why is he in his undies? Yeah. Fighting naked.
So basically all you have to do is do a little strip tease, it'll die, and then you can put your clothes back on, right?
Azrath's version of Jello wrestling.
I knew a girl in high school who was able to kill guys the same way.
You're listening to the Goblin Goldcast with Dex and Mac. I got mouths to feed, so let's get this thing started. Time is money, friend.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Azeroth. You're listening to the Goblin Goldcast, your guide to making gold in World of Warcraft. This is episode 38. I'm your host, Dex, coming to you from Napa, California. With me on Skype is the man whose snooze button recently took out a restraining order on him, my co-host, Mac, from Anchorage, Alaska. How you doing, Mac?
I'm tired, man.
New work schedule, huh?
Holy crumbs. After working nights for over 20 years, I'm on a day schedule now, and my body's trying to recuperate and handle that.
Your body's still trying to dance the night away, and you're trying to do that day shift thing.
That and I've gone from an inside job to an outside job. So,
well, a lot of people may have noticed that this show is going out later than we normally put it out. Normally we try to record on Wednesdays or Thursdays. And because of Mac's new work schedule, that doesn't really work for us anymore. We're going to have a Mac in here that's yawning nonstop if we try to do that and keep that schedule. So
he's had me fall asleep on too many raids. He doesn't want it to happen during the podcast.
I don't want you falling asleep during the podcast because I already know how that one went where I tried to record it by myself and the one that will never see the light of day. But yeah, so we figured that Saturday recording would be better. So that's what we're going to shoot for every week.
Goblin Goldcast, a lost
Saturday.
Episode.
Yeah, a permanently lost episode. And we're kind of doing something a little different tonight. We're recording back-to-back podcasts. The one that we just recorded with an interview with Ro at Realm Maintenance. So when you hear this podcast, probably within a day or two after you hear this podcast, if you hear it when we put it out, the Realm Maintenance episode will be out that we will be on. That's coming out on this coming Tuesday. And so that's, what is that? Tuesday is the 11th. And
I don't have a calendar in front of me, so I'm assuming, yeah. The days have all run together lately.
I have a computer in front of me, and computers have calendars, so I think I'm good.
Oh, there we go.
But,
I didn't even think, yeah.
Yeah, you have been working long hours.
I'm staring bleary-eyed at the screen.
So we just got through recording that show, and had a good time talking to Ro, and
I went brain dead.
Oh, he's going to fix all that in post.
I don't think so.
So we just not too long ago here had him on our show, and so he wanted to return the favor and he didn't want to return the favor. We kind of pressured him into it. So no,
I think we were the second choice when somebody dropped out.
Yeah, something like that. It was like, oh man, we're gonna have to call those guys at the Goblin Goldcast and have them in here. Yeah, he contacts us on Skype and it's like, all right, guys, nobody else answered their phone. You want to record a show?
I know it's a weekend, but I know you guys have no life, so
right. No, anyway, Ro's great, and we appreciated him interviewing us on his show, and you can hear that at Realm Maintenance, and we hope you will tune in, and we listen to Realm Maintenance every week. It's an awesome show. Every other week,
yeah.
It used to be every week. Now it's every other week.
He's got the rolling restart every other week, and he's got Realm Maintenance every other week. So
right. So, and tune into both of them. They're both great. It used to be one show combined, and he split it out into, to keep the, to isolate them into two because they were kind of on different subject matter. So Anyway, so Mac, how was your week this week?
I'm sore, man. Make the bad man go away. No, I've started working outside. I got a new job working at the railroad. Still same railroad. But I'm actually working with the guys they call the Topsy guys, the trailer run flat cars. So I'm doing a lot more physical labor. Mrs. Mack, the wonderful woman that she is, was concerned about me being cold and got me a nice new Carhartt jacket to work outside with, and I wore it the first day. And spring is here. It's I get to work, it's about 30 degrees, 31 degrees.
Ooh, toasty.
Yeah. By the afternoon, it's about 42, 43 lately. And the first day I wore my jacket, and I got too hot. So I've been out there with my flannel shirt and T-shirt and just...
I live in Napa. If it goes 40 in the dead of winter, I'm pissed. So, anyway...
like I said, I just a light pair of gloves on and I'm fine. But yeah, I'm realizing how out of shape I am. I
Well, you could have asked me. I would have told you. So I'm good that way.
Haven't you looked in the mirror? Yeah.
I can send you one of those.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I try to avoid that when at all possible.
Well, what about in game?
In game, been having fun when I'm not sleeping. 7.2, it's been out for about 2 weeks now.
Right.
I've been doing a little bit of stuff with that. Still trying to get my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the auction house. We've had some things that have gone up and down in price. The new rate isn't available quite yet, so I haven't been able to see whether there's going to be a huge fluctuation in price on those items yet. I will say I went out and I tried to do that. There's a new quest that's available right when you get your mage tower finished, and it's called Closing the Eye, where you've got to kill Archmage Xylan. You go up there, port up to the top, and I was like, I got this, no problem. I went up to the top, and I did not got this.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait.
Yeah. I thought I had him, and then all of a sudden I was dead. It was just like I went from like full health to no health, and it was.
I got it. I don't got it.
I thought I was playing my rogue, guys. And I have been hearing from people saying that it is you are able to complete that, but the guys who have been completing it have been like 915 or higher gear score,
right.
And I'm not quite there yet.
Okay.
As a non-raider, it ain't happening quite yet.
Well, you'll get there. Anything else besides that in game?
No, just having fun. Still, I have not been able to enjoy the all of my alts. I've been trying to keep up with just my main tune at the moment. For me, only being able to play one tune a night drives me nuts. I like to be able to jump around from tune to tune to tune.
Yeah.
So
are you pretty close to getting your flying down?
I got Legion Pathfinder 1. Legion Pathfinder Part 1 is complete. I finished that today, just before the show.
Right.
I was under a misconception that it was just some sort of faction to finish up some of those quests, and there was one portion that was gated behind a raid, and I used LFR to do the raid. It was and then everything just went zip 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 from that point on.
Right.
And it was like, if I'd have known this like 3 weeks ago, I'd have been done already. Slight misunderstanding on my part, but we're moving ahead. How was your week?
Well, with my limited play, what I've been able to do, as a lot of you know, the amount of time I've been able to spend on in game has been reduced quite a bit lately. But what I've been trying to do is keep the emissary quest knocked out, and still having my usual bad luck where I'm getting items that are about 5 to 10 item levels lower than what I'm already using. And so I haven't been able to manage any upgrades from these emissary quests. So that's a little disappointing, but I keep hoping for the best.
No legendaries this week, but you did have a little bit of luck in another aspect.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Here's what everybody needs to understand. You're not going to ever have to listen to the podcast in order to find out if I got my legendary. Because the name of the podcast that week will be Legend, wait for it, Terry, okay? Because I had to wait for it. So we already know what the title of that show is. So basically in the middle of November, we've already got our show title.
Yeah.
So that's what I figure. But having said that, as we announced before, we were planning to go to BlizzCon this year, and we were going to actually go to the podcasting con before the storm that they have the day before, and that was the plan. And so when tickets went on sale on the first day there, Mac and I were both at the ready. We both popped on, made our separate attempts to get tickets, and both trying to get 2 tickets, and we're just going to let the other one know that, we got him, no need to look anymore. And he got the notification that, nope, too bad, so sad, you don't get any, and I got mine right away. So I don't see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah.
I don't get to gloat. I never get to gloat about this stuff. So I'm going to gloat a little bit about these BlizzCon tickets, And for those of you that are wondering what the topic of today's show is, I have a new way to make gold in the game. Get some BlizzCon tickets. Go to the... No, I am just joking. We lost like half our subscribers just now. No, but anyway... yeah. So we got the BlizzCon tickets, so we are confirmed on that, and there's a chance that we'll get a press pass by the time BlizzCon comes along, but no way to know for sure. And so if we do, we'll have a couple of tickets to give away. So.
If they've listened to this, it's doubtful, but
Right. I mean, I'm assuming that they look. Oh, hey, these guys have had a podcast for a little while. We should give them some tickets to BlizzCon. If they have listened to even one episode, it'll be. But but here's the deal, guys. Listen to this. I don't think we should give them. Not these guys. So I'm just.
I hear there's alcohol available at the venue, and we've heard about that Mac character. Yeah.
Speaking of alcohol. At BlizzCon, when we're there, if anybody would like to, any of the listeners would like to meet up with us at one of the bars out there, I hear they got some good bars out there, and after a few drinks, Dex is known to spill stories about Mac that would never make the podcast. I'm just saying. The best stories.
I know where some of your
told.
Skeletons are hid too, man.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll tell on myself as long as it's not going on the podcast. I don't care. Anyway, so that's basically the BlizzCon deal. But seriously, we are looking forward to meeting any listeners that might make it out there. You'll be able to spot us because we will be wearing. We'll be wearing shirts from our Cafe Press site, and we're going to have a few different ones of those that we'll be wearing. So we should be pretty easy to spot, I think.
Well, not me. I kind of shrink down into the crowd. I'm like shoulder height.
Well, the thing is, you will be able to spot Mac. He'll be standing right next to the tall, devastatingly handsome man. So he'll be easy to find. So.
Where are you going to find that person?
I don't know. Anyway, I understand that maybe we had some correspondence this week that you'd like to go over a little bit.
We did. We had a couple emails, and we had a little comment from a longtime listener on Twitter. Let me go into the first email. It's from Alessander, I believe it is. It's, hi, guys. From just one sample, I think you have good host chemistry, a good level of audio capability, and are worth listening to. Well, cool, thank you.
I wonder what show he listened to.
Yeah, I know. He says, your main problem that I can see is the podcast name. Oh, no.
I thought he was going to say the main problem is the co-host now.
Yeah, there is that. On the one hand, goblins and gold just go together. We know. And alliteration. But it also primed me to expect a lot of awful goblin voices. I can't do those, sorry guys. And a lot of dry gold-making discussions instead of a nice chat style that seamlessly blended into Gold and Warcraft. Very enjoyable. Well, thank you. We're not changing the name of the podcast, but...
However, from now on, starting with next week's episode, we are going to speak only in goblin voices. I think that's an awesome idea. Brush up on your voice, Matt.
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
I have a hard enough time leaving Mrs. Mack to listen to me using this voice.
Hey, it might be a boon for you. You never know.
All right, now, we'll see how Hooked on Phonics works for me. Constrax from Control Alt Wall sent us an email this week, and he's got a couple paragraphs here. I have not had a chance to pare it down, so I'm going to try to read it without my glasses on. This could be fun. A couple aging podcasters here. All right.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, yeah. You're, 2 months younger?
I'm the young one. Go ahead. The tall, young, good-looking one. See, people are going to be able to know who's me and who's you. Anyway, go ahead.
Because, and again, Constrax, great guy, very helpful. But anyways, it says, Hi, Dex and Mac. Hope you're both doing great. The thought came to me to offer some free advice on reaping some easy benefits in patch 7.2. This is for you, Dex. Artifact Research 28 is unlocked on 3 of my characters. I have traveled to the blacksmith in SW, I think he means Stormwind,
right.
And a new legendary plate recipe can be learned for a quick 200 gold. I purchased the legendary vendor mat from the vendor on the Broken Shore and checked out the recipe. Seems that there's a bind on pickup part, so the 8,000 shard item is useless if you can't pick up the bind on pickup item. Seems like gating. No way! Gating in Legion? Nothing's gated in Legion. Oh,
no way,
yeah. The legendary recipe is also for an eye level 910 item, not the upgraded 940 legendary. It gives us reason for that quest that allows you to bring the item up to 940, so that makes sense. This seemingly minor point will make the items acceptable for an alt, but probably involve a lot of grinding to upgrade on, say, your main, severely limiting its sale value in my humble opinion. I consider this a loss to crafter, as the mats are probably going to sell for more than the legendary will. Maybe not. We'll see.
I think people are making gold on it.
Yeah. On a positive note, I've gone to the area directly below the Centax Flying Fortress. With a few portal beacons, I was able to trigger the appearance of Force Commander, I believe it's Xylus. One might dismiss the drops he has for being possibly of little value. The opportunity in that venture is that all the low health mobs you can tag just running around AoEing in circles prior to the raid boss appearing. The raid boss is somewhat equivalent to Kazak and Tanan Jungle, so it's just a matter of tagging to get loot and using a coin to hopefully get a drop. The little mobs die quickly, and if you have a shoulder enchant, you can easily acquire 2 or 3 satchels just tagging all the trash from the portal, and upward of 1,600 nether shards from the dead corpses. I think it's a valid way to make 2 to 5k, I'm assuming that's nether shards, in 2 hours if you want to spend time with very little in the way of resource investment. My reputation to unlock flying is 549 is short by 549 points. So I know I'm a little farther away than that, but so I should have that unlocked with 2 rep tokens from the champion missions and a few more quests on Broken Shores either tonight or tomorrow. Pathfinder Part 2 will be finished in about 12 days, so due to my racial bonuses and Dark Moon Fair wheel buff, have a great show. Constrax, Human Rogue, Thorium Brotherhood, U.S. Alliance. Well, it was all going well until that alliance port, but
there you go. Well, we talked to him about that. We tried to stage an intervention, but you can only do so much.
I think he actually did make a tune over on Dalaran that was Horde.
He did. So, he did. Yeah. And anyways, do we have somebody after that?
Yeah, we also got a Twitter comment from Gooch the Goblin. He's a longtime listener. He says, "Hey guys, listening to the show, and you're talking nether shards. I'm highly encouraging all of my guild members to farm these. Each pace on the vendor is 880 with a chance to Titan Forge. You can also get set pieces and trinkets or straight star sticks. This is a great way for any struggling goblin to quickly bring their average eye level up. Good luck." He says, "I should specify you can get raid pieces or set pieces from them." He goes, "Love the show week to week, and I think it's still great. I'm starting to think Dex only has about 2 hours a week he's actually playing lately, which is fine because in real life comes first. But there is no way he's 6+ months into the expansion and doesn't have at least one legendary with average playtime. You don't know how RNG hates Dex, but says, keep up the great show. If you need any info on anything, feel free to reach out. I raid and do a lot of PvE content with my guild, so I can always try to provide clarity in those areas."
All right, here's the thing. All right, I don't play as much as I used to play, but I definitely play more than 2 hours a week. I'm probably looking at about 6 to 7 hours a week. I try to knock out the emissary quests on a regular basis. I just have a real bad experience with RNG. I mean, it's really, really bad. And
I thought he was going to rage quit with the Ashes of Wrong.
Oh my God! It was like over 500. I think it was over like 500 times in there. And the time that I finally got it was the day after you went in. You went in first time and got it, very first try. Which
right, just before we started this podcast.
Yeah, which was completely soul crushing when you did that. And then I went back the next day on a different tune because I go through there with multiple tunes. And I went in there on another one. It was your first time in with any character. And
oh yeah, you were showing me. Well, let's try for this raid mob,
right?
And for this old world raid mob, and I'll show you. We'll walk through here. We'll show you which mobs to avoid, and we'll go in there. I'll show you what mob to kill. We'll go out. We'll create a row instance. Go in there, and this way we've got a chance for one of us to get it.
Right. Yeah,
and I was the one. There could be only one. No, sorry.
So the next day I went through on another tune and I got it as well, but. Still, it was pretty bad, and you were able to pretty easily get the Headless Horseman mount, which I still haven't gotten after trying for it every single year. So yeah, I have.
I was in there with
luck.
the group, and when it dropped, I was in there with the group, and it was like bing. I was like, oh, cool. And then you and I were gonna play. Meet up somewhere the next day, and meet me in so and so, and I went flying over on that. He goes, and you said. Oh, hey, here's some jackass showing off his Headless Horseman mount. I said, it's me.
And then I pretended to not know it was you, before I made the comment. But now, we already talked about BlizzCon, didn't we?
We did, and we talked about the emails. We would also like to let everyone know we do not have a Patreon at this time. We don't use Patreon, but we do, if you like the show, would like to support the show, we do have a way that you can help us. If you'd like, we don't want you to just give us money and not provide you anything. So at cafepress.com/Goblin Goldcast, you've got our swag store. You can get T-shirts, all sorts of logo items. We've got magnets. We've got coffee mugs, shot glasses, my favorite. There's I think we got a clock in there. I think there's you've got mouse pads.
Do we have the private label? We have private label whiskey there, right?
Not yet.
Okay, no private label whiskey. Darn.
We could try. No, that's it. Yeah, the licensing for that would be no. Yeah.
All right.
But anyways, if you'd like to help support the show, please feel free to visit us over there at our swag store. I've actually put the link up on our Facebook page.
And it's on the website as well. So if anybody wants to go there, we really appreciate that. And
we do know that there's some people that are still having problems getting into the website. Again, we've mentioned this before. Waiting for our contract to run out. We're in the process of being able to move our website.
Right. Right. Well, we need to find a new home, a good home, and because we don't want to have to do this again, so we'd like to make a wise choice for where we move to. If somebody is aware of really nice, dependable hosting out there that's not too outrageous, feel free to pass that on to us. We've been looking at different options. I think Bluehost is something that we may consider. I think they've got a pretty good track record. But anybody that has a recommendation, something that they personally used that they felt had good performance, by all means, pass that on to us, and we will appreciate it.
We're having performance issues.
Well, you more than me, but it's because you're having that problem with a variety of things, and I've just got the website thing. But getting old sucks. What are you going to do?
Oh, man.
Anyway.
I'll tell you what, I'm feeling much better now. Earlier this week, I'd get home from work and just collapse on the sofa ready to die. Now, it's by the end of the week, I'm doing better.
Right. One thing that I did want to mention, I was over on WoW Economy, and I noticed a post over there of something that I was unaware of, and I know a lot of you out there may be unaware of it. So I wanted to pass it on. Like I said, it's a pretty nice thread there of people talking about this. People that are doing order hall missions with the followers, trying to run them through and do those gold missions. You get a gold mission that'll have 5, 6, 7, 100 gold, and then it'll have a bonus of 1,500 gold. And pretty easy to get those up to 200% success rate. And run a bunch of those through, and especially if you have a lot of 110s that you've brought through and can run through on that, that can add up to a decent amount of gold. It's not it's not Warlords of Draenor garrison gold, but it's pretty decent just for the click of a button. Well, something to be aware of on that. Now that you can upgrade your followers beyond eye level 850, you can bring them up to 900 or something like that now.
900's the max.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of my followers up there.
Well, here's the problem. You want to keep one of them at 850, and the reason why, if you don't, all those gold missions disappear. And I don't know if it's a bug that they're going to fix, or if it's intentional, but until we know one way or another, or we get confirmation that it's been fixed, I recommend, as does the person who made the original post, recommend that you keep one back that's 850, just so that you can make those gold missions pop up. Because once you've raised the eye level on these guys, you're not going to be able to bring them back down. No way to bring it back down to 850 once you've leveled it up, unless you want to drop one altogether, I guess, and pick up a new one and level it up. So it can be kind of a pain if you have to go through and try to fix it after it's broken. So again, if you're like me and you like doing those, I do those every time they pop up. And it does add up to a decent amount of gold, and I'm only doing it on one character. Eventually, I'll be doing it on a bunch, but right now I'm just doing it on one, and it adds up. So unless you want to lose the ability to do that, again, keep one back at 850.
And another thing we'd like to see to change or change how they've implemented, or maybe they've got something in the works, is the new demon invasions. My understanding is the other day they came up one location for 6 hours and then down. They don't come back up again. So if you were at work, you were at school doing whatever. I was at work.
Right.
The invasion went up and it didn't come back up, and that kind of is frustrating. Hopefully they're looking at a way to fix that, because that's a way to get nether shards.
Yeah, and it seems to me that a solution should be something in the order of, they pick whichever zone is going to have the invasions and have it, an hour on, an hour off, back and forth, maybe something like that for the 24 hours before it swaps to another zone. That might be a good
or even
fix.
2 on, 2 off.
Or even 2 on, 2 off wouldn't be devastating for anybody. And then even if it's 2 hours, and you have to do emissary quests there or what have you, as long as your planning isn't really bad, you should be able to still complete things and be able to take advantage of these demon invasions at the same time. I don't think that it was well thought out, and so they're going to.
Or hopefully it's just a glitch,
I don't think it's a glitch. I think it was something that they didn't anticipate, and that they're going to have to fix. Just one of those things that it didn't occur to them. Oh no, this is going to happen at a time when some can use it and some can't, and I would be very surprised if that isn't fixed in some way. That just seems like a no-brainer that it needs to be fixed.
The other change that's happened since the new expansion 7.2 is the eye level of mobs. The 110 mobs, if you're 110, their item level of the mob scales to your level,
right?
Or to your item level.
To your item level.
And there were people that were testing this by taking off a piece of gear and watching the health of the mob drop down a little bit while they were engaging it.
See, now what I would do is I'd just take off gear like a madman until it just died.
Why is he in his undies? Yeah. Fighting naked.
So basically all you have to do is do a little strip tease, it'll die, and then you can put your clothes back on, right?
Azrath's version of Jello wrestling.
I knew a girl in high school who was able to kill guys the same way. Anyway, scratch it. I'll edit that out. But now, as far as we know, that doesn't affect level 101s, though, correct?
No, I believe you can still do the twink. I think it's all 110 mobs.
Boy, that would kill twinking, wouldn't it? That would that would not be good if you're a 101 and you've got a high eye level because you've bought all this twink gear from the auction house and now the legendaries, that player made legendaries, so it can be worn by 101. Oh yeah. So let's say you're really decked out and you've spent some good cash getting there, and then all of a sudden the mobs aren't you're not going through them like butter like you were before. You might be a little upset. It's but now this was an intentional change. It's just it wasn't supposed to be as drastic as it was. That's my understanding, right?
Yeah, they said they're working on some things with it, but they have said that there was a blue post out there saying that they wanted to, as the expansion went along, your gear dependency is going to be up there. You need to get better gear and work on your eye level if you want to be able to handle some of these.
But they're going to do some tuning, I think, though, on it. And,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
And kind of get it where it needs to be. But
the other nice thing is the new talents for the legendary weapons has opened up. One nice thing about opening up the new talents, as well as having the ability to increase your artifact knowledge, is when you open up the new talent skill trees, some of the old talents you can actually have more points available. Say you had 4 points or 3 points in another talent in one of the talents on the tree, that some of those become 4. They add another point or two, so you can actually increase those. Now they still cost a ton of points. I think my next level is going to cost me 22 million artifact power, and I know there's people that have been playing a lot longer than I have this week, and they're going 22 million. I wish I had.
Yeah, it's all relative, and so we got a lot of changes that we're dealing with. There are a lot of gold making opportunities, of course, when a new patch comes out, but some of those can be fleeting. So be careful, stay on top of the changes, and if you see something that pops up, don't waste time, because some of these changes, the window to take advantage of them can be very small.
And for those herbalists out there doing the Broken Shore dailies, those fell encrusted herbs, they'll drop all the different herbs that are available in the other areas, and people have been getting they haven't been able to get their level 3 herbalism in certain types of plants, are actually getting those out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a nice way to skill up and make gold, getting your herbs out there as well.
It is definitely an opportunity.
And now I'm on my new schedule, as we talked about earlier. I've got 3-day weekends now, so I'll actually have more time to play. So I'll have a little more time to be able to experience some of this stuff versus this last week where I was trying to get my body clock back up to where it needed to be. My play time this week, I normally play a lot more than I did this last week. I was get home, try to play, and fall asleep.
Well, that'll be great. When you have the 3-day weekends, you'll finally be able to put enough time into the game to get some legendaries, right?
Oh yeah, maybe 1 or 2. You know, I thoroughly recommend those to those who don't have them.
I think it's hilarious that one of our listeners thinks that it's that I'm not having bad luck. That this. Trust me, this is not a playtime issue. This has been an ongoing story of my life kind of thing. And,
I think he's been writing letters to Blizzard offering cash rewards to get him a legendary.
I think I used up all of
Who do I have to bribe?
I think I used up all of my luck for the entire year on getting the BlizzCon tickets. So I don't think there's any left for me at this point.
Just remember the bribery that you go to try to get the legendary has to be bigger than the bribe I paid for them not to get you a legendary. So
yeah, I think you paid somebody off somewhere. So seriously though, I mean, I'm not kidding. Especially when everybody reacts the way that they do. What, you don't even have one yet on any character? Everybody's always shocked, and I start thinking, I'm being punked. This is. Ashton Kutcher's going to come out from around the corner and let me know that I'm being punked any moment now, and I'm going to, have to.
Ro was shocked. Not even one.
And they don't realize that they're rubbing it in, but
which I don't mind.
Imagine when you're in high school, You've never even kissed one girl, not even one. Imagine how that would feel. I'd just like to get kissed by one legendary, just one. Okay? Even if it's something that's even worst.
Even if it's an ugly legendary, yeah.
I'm not going to say no. I mean, it's like people talking and complaining about the 9-10 legendaries. It's like, yeah, okay, because. You've had enough of them drop that you can be picky about the eye level of the legendary that you're getting. It's like you get legendaries that don't match the previous legendary that you got, and you're worried about clashing items and things like that. So.
Well, and then I've got some with 3 legendaries, and I got to decide which one of the which one's going to go with my decor for that day. See.
Yeah.
My ensemble.
Right. Well, listen, I think that's going to about wrap up this week's show. I'd like to thank Schaefer Bates for his awesome work as the Goblin voice at the beginning of each show. Also, Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com for our theme music, Hot Rock, licensed under Creative Commons.
And if you'd like to contact us, you can get a hold of us at Mac, that's MAC, at GoblinGoldcast.com, or Dex, that's DEX, at GoblinGoldcast.com. If you can't reach us at our main email, we have an alternate email address, mattgoblingoldcast@gmail.com. You can contact us at Twitter at Goblin Goldcast, or you can visit us on Facebook.
And don't forget to visit the swag store at cafepress.com/Goblin Goldcast. And you can leave us a voicemail on our website, GoblinGoldcast.com. And please subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher if you listen to us there.
And we'll see you next week.
Now go make some gold.
Gozer the Gozerian. Good evening. As a duly designated representative of the city, county, and state of New York, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension. That ought to do it. Thanks very much, Ray.
Are you a god?
No.
Then...
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!